Good evening, sports fans! Crowbat for the win of the Token Minorities here today with the PCL Week 12 against Shakewaza. This is another one of those fun rematches. You know how I feel about rematches. Oh my gosh. So, we're already locked for playoffs. We're guaranteed to play Matt O'Shea, that same guy who brought this random Nacho Libre set that completely destroyed a Terrakion that shouldn't have been destroyed. We had an 87.5% chance to win that game. And that's ignoring shenanigans with Nidokings. I'm still ranting about it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let that go. We're going to have our crack at him next week. But right now, I know this upload is a little bit behind the 8 ball here. It's a few days late, but I've been dealing with a lot of GBA stuff in addition to preparing for my first playoff game. And a lot of that has taken up some of the extra time that I had, but I'm going to get this up today. We're going to have some fun with it. I'm also going to note we are not going to see the art up top again. That would just add a couple hours to putting this together, and I don't really want to do that. I don't think it's needed, considering this isn't a super important game. It's just, I'm playing it because I want to try to get a win, I want to try to get a dub, I want to get the best record I can here. But either way, win or lose, even if I lose 6-0, I'm still going to be in the exact same spot, so that is a nice comfort going into this game. So knowing that, the team that I brought was actually very similar to the last time we played. I really didn't feel a need to reinvent the wheel here, but just to go over it real quick. So we have Alolan Muck, actually, with Flamethrower this time, decided to pack a special move rather than Fire Punch. We've got Thunderous Incarnate with Incinerate. I don't think it had Incinerate last time, so that's kind of cool. We've got a Hidden Power Fire, Hippowdon, to take out our good friend Kartana. We still have the same Choice Banded Excadrill. It just runs through his team in a Sandstorm. We have the Mega Blastoise again. This time it is not Rest Talk. I have a feeling he's not going to bring Entei, and obviously we see no Entei there. So that's cool, and I got a Bronzong with Hidden Power Fire. So I'm feeling decent at Team Preview, but one thing I definitely overlooked a little bit was the Hitmonlee. And looking at it, I don't have much that switches into a Choice Banded high jump kick very well at all. Like, actually, that would be the worst thing on the planet. And as we jump into this game, Thunderous is a good lead. I see this man lead off with a Hitmonlee, and I have a bulky Thunderous that can't even touch it. So that's fantastic. I'm going to have to switch out into a possibly Choice Banded high jump kick. Turn 1. I got this fully physically defensive Hippowdon with Sandstream and all that good stuff. High jump kick comes and does well over half. I think it was Choice Banded, but still, maybe Reckless. Like, there's either way, that's insane the amount of damage that just did. I'm gonna have to switch into Blastoise because it's kind of not that helpful this game. And there is an angel on my shoulder because this man misses a high jump kick. Oh my gosh, that was lucky. That was very lucky early on in this game. I am pretty sure that it's just Blastoise going down, had that not happened. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to go for Scald, and it does nothing to Sylveon, pretty much. I mean, I guess it does something, sure. But Sandstorm's up, I see Leftovers, that's fine. I mean, at this point, I'm going to kind of switch into a Sylveon check that is Bronzong's, usually pretty good at that. There's a Wish here, and there's only one thing he can wish past to, either himself or that first turn Hitmonlee. So I am going to make sure that Hitmonlee does not come in safely at all. It's pretty obvious. So I am not going to set up rocks. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to go for the Gyro Ball. Worst case, he goes into something like a Garchomp and he just gets all 5 of its health back after going for Gyro Ball. It's not the end of the world. Here's Uxie. It's also not great. I can't really hit it with anything. I think we're probably just going to have to trade rocks. That's most likely what it'll be. But I decided to Toxic this turn because I want to get something on this before I even think about setting rocks up. Maybe there's a chance I can get mine away with Rapid Spin, but oh well, that's probably a better second turn move just in case he decided to U-turn or something. Anyway, Stealth Rock, going up. So it's a rock game. Rock on rock. Okay, Toxic is going to be whittling this guy down. I really wish I still had that Culber Berry, but at least Foul Play did absolutely nothing. That's cool. Going into Blastoise, hoping for another Foul Play. I see U-turn. So I, in hindsight, wish things went a little differently. But alas, we can't wish for things. Blastoise, you know what? I should have, in hindsight, I should have probably expected the U-turn and not done that. Now that rocks are up, unfortunately this Thunderous does not check the Kartana all that well, so that's kind of unfortunate. If this thing comes back out, not great, but if it is a berry, I can burn it. That's cool. Incinerate. Cassie berry for the Kofag. That's cool. Wow, that's nice. I'm going to U-turn and do 5 damage. Poison's still up, so that's cool. I may have got a crit there. I didn't actually look. But Muck's in the game. Muck is here. We do not want to get knocked off, though. And if this thing is knockoff, we're in trouble. That foul play does way more than I would have wanted. But then again, rocks are also up, so I kind of wish I could get into a range where I could get my berry. Unfortunately, now I feel like I'm too low to deal with a few things like the Kartana. So that's terrible. Have a seat. Love the nickname Shay. Love it. That is fantastic. So Garchomp gets a free switch in here. Gonna go into Bronzong, which is actually a decent check to it. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So he's gonna have to switch out of there. Have a seat right over there, Garchomp. Get out of here. If there's anything else you'd like to say, we'd like to hear it. Otherwise, you're obviously free to walk out the door you came in, Garchomp. So Garchomp does leave, steps out the door, gets arrested somewhere back there, and the cops take him to the ground, take him to the station, book him, process him, and he gets, 2 years in prison. Okay. Sylveon's here in the game with an HP Fire that does absolutely nothing. I have a Gyro Ball, and that's going to do something, but probably not a lot because Sylveon is not very fast. However, between the Toxic Poisoning and the Gyro Ball damage, the hope is that something good will happen here. Hyper Voice comes, and actually it probably does only marginally less than HP Fire. I'm just being realistic. We do take it out, so that's cool, but now this thing's at really low health. Kinda not in a position where a Kartana can take it out. I'm thinking it's Scarf Kartana, just by the way he's been playing it. He hasn't switched moves, so that's what I'm seeing here. Possibility of Scarf Kartana. I see attack rising. That's great. So this is at a point, I think, where I still have my berry. If he decides to knock off, Muck's useless for the game, but this thing goes down. That would be amazing. Would be amazing. So I'm going to pull a double. Because I'm going to assume the switch is coming. So that's why I go to Thunderous to see what he goes into. Thunderous was fodder at that point. I don't know if I had any real way to get rid of rocks at this point. That's the biggest problem. So Garchomp is here, and now I really wish I had Ice Beam, but I had to settle for Aura Sphere for coverage in this game. I get a crit. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm going to pull a double and go into Hippowdon, which basically is useless in this game. I really need it at this point just to get up the sand in hopes that Excadrill, a Choice Banded Excadrill, can just kind of sweep through the team. That's the goal now. I only get 5 turns of sand, though. I need this to happen. I also know he has probably Water Shuriken on Greninja, and there's a possible roll to live it, depending on how many Shuriken hits he gets. We'll see. He goes into that now. I decide to not risk it because I feel like Alolan Muck can check this thing very easily. However, we're gonna see some really interesting stuff going on. So gonna get the berry. That's nice. That's helpful. We're gonna be back at near full. Water Shuriken is going to do absolutely nothing. Muck literally tanks that like a beast. Okay, only 3 hits. Not a big deal. It's pretty average, of course. Sandstorm, everything, and then
dig a hole, 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 dig a hole. You should have dug deeper.
You know what? That's why I smile, as Avril would say. I am impressed, okay? I'm not even mad that that just happened. I am impressed. Okay, so the thing is, if I had just stayed in with Excadrill, I won the game. But I was under the impression he'd probably be Life Orb or some kind of boosting item. And maybe even if he got 5 attacks without the boosting item, it still may have KO'd. But I figured Alolan Muck was a total check to Greninja. And that would set me up for victory this game, but I guess not. So that's fantastic. You know what, this game didn't really matter for much in terms of playoffs or anything. It was just kind of an extra game to see if I could capitalize on a W. But you know what? Good for my opponent. I am impressed. You get hats off and a quick round of applause. I also got to use an Ed, Edd and Eddy reference, so I was very happy with that. So GG. Yeah, we are not going to be victorious today, but I can tell you one thing. We are going after that Bob Ross Waffle Maker. We're going into the playoffs full speed ahead, clear eyes. Full hearts. Can't lose. We can't do it. We can't lose. We are gonna be PCL champions. I feel it in my blood and in my guts. We got this, guys. We got this. I look forward to seeing you all in the quarter-final game coming this Saturday. Peace out, guys.